So One Piece chapter 1057 is out, so let's talk about it. So let's get the elephant out of the room. Yamato is not joining the crew. And honestly, I am glad that it happened, but I don't like how it was done. So the reason why I'm actually glad Yamato didn't join the crew is because in every arc, Oda likes to give the Straw Hats their own fights and their own POVs, and this just spreads out the arc and makes it longer. So in pre-time skip, it wasn't really a problem because the crew was still growing. And then when we came post-time skip, if you look at Dressrosa and you look at Whole Cake Island, the crew was split, so we didn't have a full POV. But for Dressrosa, we had all these extra side characters that joined the Grand Fleet, and that actually increased the amount of chapters or episodes needed for that arc because there were so many other POVs of the Grand Fleet members. So by adding more Straw Hats, you're just going to increase the arc time because there's just going to be more POVs and more characters for Oda to focus on in every single arc. So I'm actually quite happy in that aspect that Yamato didn't join because Oda really wants to finish One Piece. And I don't think it's really fair for us to say, no, extend as long as you want. I mean, he's only getting older. And I mean, we can't just expect him to be a machine and just work constantly and give us all that we want. So I'm happy that Yamato didn't join. But the reason why he didn't join, I mean, he wants to be like Odin, and Odin started his journey in Wano, going around Wano. So she wants to do that first before going out to sea. I mean, that's really dumb in my opinion. It's sort of like saying, I look up to Thomas Edison. He invented the light bulb. Let me reinvent it. Let me, in school we learned the story where, he flew a kite up and then lightning struck the kite and that's how the light bulb lit up. Imagine you do the exact same thing just because you want to follow in the footsteps of like Thomas Edison. It's like, no, you don't do it like that. You add on. You don't redo. So if Yamato said, I read Odin's journal, I want to be like Odin. Odin went on all these adventures, and when he came back, he wanted to open the borders of Wano. Now imagine in this chapter, he tells Luffy, I want to join the crew, but I do not want to leave Wano until the borders of Wano is open, because that's what Odin wanted to see, and I want to be here when it happens. But ultimately, it's not my choice to open it, it's Momonosuke. So I'm going to stay behind because Momonosuke does not want to open the borders right now. Imagine if you got that instead of this, which is, I just want to travel Wano because Odin did it back in the day. That would have been so much better. Or even Admiral Greenbull came. We couldn't defeat them without your help, even though I was helping Momonosuke. So he still needs me, because if I go, they lose another strong fighter. That would have been a better reason. But the reason that Yamato gives is honestly really, really dumb and stupid in my opinion. But let me know what y'all think in the comments about that. So now let's move on to Momonosuke. And honestly, I really like how Momonosuke was handled here. So he was putting up a brave front of, oh, you can't do this to the Shogun. I thought we were friends. How could you not say goodbye to me? But then when he finally meets Luffy, he breaks down and he says he's scared. And that's what I really love, because it's consistent with his character. It shows, Momonosuke might be old and he might put up front for his country, but he won't put up a front in front of his friends. And the touch of Luffy saying, I see you as my little brother, so take my flag and put it up in Wano. So if any bad guy comes, tell them, you mess with me, you mess with the Straw Hats, and that should deter them. And if it doesn't, I will come for you. That's really amazing. It's like the Alabasta arc where Ace gave Luffy his favorite card and said, Luffy, I'm your bigger brother, here's something for you. If you ever want to come see me, you need my help. Luffy's doing something similar for Momonosuke, and it's really nice to see that Luffy's the one who's going to be the protector rather than the one being protected. It's just a really nice parallel I saw there. I think the final thing is Kinemon. I think Kinemon was just tagged along, but I like the fact that he was there because he was with Momonosuke, with the Straw Hats the longest. So it's nice that Kinemon was there. I wish they did a little bit more with him. Like maybe he gave a nice goodbye or something, but he didn't do nothing. Like he was talking on the way to the store at the moment. Like we're gonna cut his head off if he doesn't give the right answer, whatever. But when they were there, Kinemon really didn't say much, and I think he should have at least had some goodbye over there, or maybe not. I'm not sure, but I think Kinemon should have had some sort of interaction. And then we got the Stroids and them leaving with Law and Kid, but that's not really important. There was just a fun gag moment of Kid taunting them and they all just fall down the waterfall. That was pretty funny. And then we end up with basically what happened at Onigashima, the raid. It's a romantic retelling of the events of Onigashima. So basically they're turning what happened into sort of like a story and a legend that can be passed down from generation to generation to tell. You know, the Korozumi is born to burn. That is pretty cool. But honestly, I can't wait for the next chapter because now we get to see what are the Straw gonna do after Wano. Like we got all our information in the last chapter about Cross Guild, about what happened with Sabo, but we don't know what the Straw are gonna do now. Where are they gonna go? That's what I really want to know. And the next chapter is gonna be really exciting to find out what's gonna happen. Let me know down in the comment section what you think about this chapter. Subscribe, like the video, or dislike it if you didn't enjoy what I had to say. And I'll see you all in my next video.